So we're back in the seal, and the job for today is this little box, and in here apparently is the camera that is fitted to the Chinese seals, but for some reason is not fitted to the seals sold in Thailand. I don't know what the reason for that is, but that is the case. So basically there are companies importing these from China and they are selling like hotcakes. This cost me 2,200 baht, and the idea is that all the wiring is still here. There is an SD card slot next to the USBs under here, so we'll be putting an SD card, micro SD card in there. Anyway, today we're going to try and fit this. So, as I said, the wiring for this camera already exists in the car. All we have to do is fit the micro SD card and the camera itself. And the camera lives in this plastic box area behind the driver's rear view mirror. So we're going to have a go at getting this thing off and fitting the camera. So I have a bit of a confession to make. This is not my first attempt to get the plastic housing off. I didn't want to damage it, so I wanted to use something that was not too hard. So I managed to find this plastic putty spatula. If you're thinking of using something similar to this, don't. A lot of blood, sweat and tears and zero success. So I went online and I bought a semi-professional trim kit. So it comes with lots of tools. Obviously getting this sort of trim off is not easy, but we'll see if I've got the right tools for the job. I might be a bit more successful. So the plastic housing is attached via a series of clips along the edges, but there's also some sort of cord, like I'm not sure if I can get that on the camera. This cord here is actually still attached. There's nothing on here now, so I'm going to have another go off camera and see if I can get any further. So I have really attempted to remove this cord that's holding the thing up, and I believe this center section also needs to come out, but in my struggles I actually discovered the connector, and that is what needs to connect to the camera, and the camera lives down here. So I'm not sure that you actually need to take all of the housing off. So I'm going to go back off camera and fiddle around a bit more. So the cable that we're after is doubled back on itself, and is basically some tape that is wrapped around the cable to just hold it in place, really, but it's a little bugger to get it off. But anyway, there we are. So that's the connecting cable, and that's the back of the camera. So we're going to attach it and then see if we can fit it. So there's job one done. Moving on to job 2 now. So this is the lens of the camera, and this is the aperture through which the camera needs to basically be positioned. And these are the clips that hold on to these little protrusions here. So basically you have to get the camera lined up, clicked in, but then the lens needs to be coming out the hole here. It's definitely a 2-person job. But anyway, I can persevere. I think I might just have got it. So it seems to be lined up with the hole now. I had the camera upside down, and the lens isn't exactly in the middle. So that's what my problem was. Anyway, so the camera is fitted, but rather than put this housing back, because it is such a monumental pain to get it off, I think I'm just going to test to see that it's working first. And if it's working, then I will fit the housing back. So the first thing I need to do now is to get out the micro SD card, and I'll show you where that goes. So in addition to having to cope with plastic housings and a tiny car, I have inquisitive puppies wanting to know what I'm up to. So I have to watch for them. So this is the center console, and underneath the center console is 2 USBs and what would be a cigarette lighter type connector. One's a USB-C and one is standard USB socket. And in between is a micro SD card slot, and that is where the card needs to go. A job best done on your hands and knees. Okay, the SD card is now in the SD card slot, and we are now going to do a reboot of the screen, and that should reset everything. So this volume control here, if you press and hold it, then it'll do a reset. Function self-match successful. Reboot for the changes to take effect. Okay. Looks promising. Okay, it seems to have finished. Driver recorder. Maybe that's it. Wow, look at that. That is the dashcam camera. Very good. Photo successfully taken. Playback list. So what we have now is we have the camera installed and the functionality is incorporated into the infotainment system. So why wouldn't you? And I have to ask the question, why was it not included? Because it really is a pain to fit it yourself. But anyway, job done. When I say job done, I have to put the housing back. Hopefully it's easier than taking it off.